Not a White Claw. Just for the record. Not a White Claw. Guys, welcome to the debut show of we'll rename it by next week. We already have some working ideas. I'm Lou Betya. Joining me, as he will be every Saturday until I maybe anger him, Billy Briz. Billy Briz, if you guys don't know him, I'm pretty sure more guys know him than me. Killing it on Pub Sports. Has done tons of NFL DFS content, betting content, fight content, does the live watch-alongs every week on Pub Sports.
That's a good intro.
And I had 10 minutes to practice. Billy, tell people what's going on, my man.
Not much, man. UFC Fight Night. For people that don't know, Sugar Sean O'Malley, favorite fighter. So I'm ready to go into this fight week. International Fight Week too, July 4th weekend. No 4th of July plans for me. So let's make some money today and cash some tickets, baby.
Billy and I are also on John Kelly's DFS panel every week. And I just want to give him credit one last time. He was on the Oldberg side. He was on it confidently. Tefan is the reason I had to do fucking Chewy this week.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to get just pasted in 30 seconds, but I don't know, man. I'm done betting Oldberg fights. I don't want anything to do with this guy. You know, he couldn't get Sharon out of there, but I don't know, man.
That's the way the MMA game goes. But it's a new week, though. This is the tough weeks. The pay-per-view cards are always the type of cards where something weird happens that you don't expect.
So everybody in chat, like and subscribe as YouTube tells me to do every week. Go like Billy's page if you haven't already. Go follow all his content on Pub Sports. But just let you go. So here's the format of what we're going to do. Notable line movements, our favorite bets of the day. But we're answering questions from chat, too. If you guys have bets you're wondering about, plays you haven't made yet, ask us, man. That's what we're here for. And let's have some fun. So as far as notable line movement goes, there ain't none. So this is going to be the easiest segment of the show. We looked. Nothing standing out. Billy,
there's a couple of noticeable line movements. Since the press conference, Sean Strickland became a favorite. He's a minus 130 favorite in some places like FanDuel now. Unibet has him at minus 134. DraftKings has him as minus 125. He opened up as the underdog earlier this week. Sugar Sean O'Malley's getting juiced up there. He should be. I think he's going to be around minus 350, around that Caesar's price tag. And then reverse line movement is coming a little bit on that. I think it's the Holloway Volkanovski fight. Some people are kind of on the Max Holloway bandwagon.
I think you're getting. I mean, look, that's one of those plays where, at first glance, the line seems wide, but I have a play on Volk later that I'll talk about. But before we get to our best bets, Brandon, my guy, Angry Ms. Girl picture, one of my faves. Is Uriah Hall KO worth the shot? What do you think, Billy?
I definitely think it's worth a shot, but to be honest with you, if you're gonna bet that fight, I think it's Muniz. I kind of want to take a Muniz prop, like an inside a distance Muniz prop. Uriah Hall not as durable as he once used to be.
Muniz sub is minus 120. It's it's even his round one sub is plus 175. It's crazy. But we were talking about this last night on Lambeau, Brandon. Brady's taking shots on the late Hall KO. I kind of like his round 3 KO is 20-1. I kind of like that as a pivot play. But I would say also this is kind of a decent live betting spot. Muniz's cardio is not tremendous. I think if we've seen Hall defend takedowns before, but it was a while ago. I know people make a big deal about the Shoeface fight that he was fending him off, but and Shoeface one of the GOAT nicknames in UFC history, but I kind of think Shoeface underperformed in the UFC as far as I know. He's a killer in PFL, but he's all right to me. But Hall has proved he's never been subbed. I guess that matters. But Muniz seems like he's on a different level. I'm on the Muniz side, but I do think the Hall late KO props are decent, especially 20-1 for a fight. He actually could be down 2-0 at that point if Muniz's cardio holds up. I don't think that's
I don't know. That's definitely not a fight that I think you should be highly invested on. I'd rather bet one of the fights which in between that.
So here we go. Bill, I'm crazy. By the way, Mr. Joe Tadaro, you are in the right place if you are crazy. Because obviously you're familiar with Billy, but if you've never seen my content, I'm like, the lunatic fringe. I'm the loose cannon of this joint. So I love it. Little bit by Uriah Hall KO in 60 seconds. That's kind of interesting. Joe? What are you getting odds on that? You getting like 40-1? Like to
I
blast
can't imagine the odds on that.
Well, I know like DraftKings does like the 60-second stuff, but like it's kind of interesting and little hedge on the second and third. Yeah, Hall decision equity is there too. He's getting older. I mean, I would rather just go for violence here, but look, man, we've seen these two lines the last couple of weeks. We've seen like Vieira and Curtis. That fight doesn't go was like
Minus
ridiculous.
900.
Pereira Silva was, and what happened to both of them, man? They both went the distance. Like you just never know in this game. They feel like they're appealing, but they're not. But Billy, let's get into our best bets of the day, man. Give me one of your 4 best bets. I'm gonna put it up on a screen here.
Let me think about which one do I want to talk about first. I kind of like this one on FanDuel. This one kind of stuck out to me a lot. Israel Adesanya, Jared Cannonier, neither to land a takedown, plus 125. I thought that was good plus money. I generally think this is going to be a fight that's going to take place on the feet for 15 minutes. Not 15 minutes, 25 minutes. Adesanya, really good takedown defense. I really don't expect Jared Cannonier to be shooting him for takedowns. If you watch any of his press conferences, he didn't really talk about wrestling at all. I think this is going to be an easy Adesanya win. So neither fighter to land a takedown, and that kind of correlates with the other bet. Israel Adesanya to win, have the most takedowns, and land the most significant strikes. Plus 220. I thought that was really good price tag. Both of them plus money on the main event. Better than betting the minus 550 money line.
I don't know if you saw like something I posted earlier. Like, because I agree with this. I love the play. I posted something like I went on BetMGM Thursday morning, and I know it's an automated thing. Their props weren't out yet. So like they just do the props they have, and it was like Cannonier to win by heel hook, and I'm at plus 10,000. I'm like,
yeah,
get the fuck out of here, really. And then like it changed. But let me pivot to one of my best bets. This is my squarest play. I'm not really big. I don't really like doing these kind of bets typically, but I think the odds are decent for it. I went with just a really simple Sugar Show Adesanya money line. It's minus 160. I don't love plays like this typically. I don't like the Juice Boy plays, but I mean, I don't see Cannonier. It's we know what his path to victory is. I think Adesanya can piece him out. I think Adesanya can knock him out too.
Honestly, that's the reason why I don't want to bet the Izzy decision prop.
Yeah, and I made a comment earlier in the week that like even I think it was after the Costa fight, Adesanya was setting this up. He's like, well, Cannonier deserves the next shot. Like, and when you start setting up an opponent down the road, you must know you have like a huge side advantage. I think Adesanya could pick him off, and I'm with you. If this thing hits the ground, it's because somebody got knocked down. There's no takedowns here. And as far as the Sugar Show, look, man, it's a setup fight for him. I think. I know Munoz. Like the narrative is O'Malley's legs. Munoz is a leg kicker. That's a 10-inch reach advantage, man. And I
I'm with you.
It's gonna be target practice for 15 minutes. I don't think he gets him out of there, but wouldn't surprise me if he's the first to get him out late. I looked at the round 3. Ultimately, I would have needed a lot more for it. But before we get to the next pick, I want to talk about Josh bringing up the Strickland by sub. Now, I know you're not on the Strickland side here, but I want to say that last night in the Lambeau show and just the community in general, this seems to be MMA Twitter's prop of the week.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta throw a couple dollars down on the Strickland by sub. If you did watch one of Alex Pereira's losses, I think it was his first MMA fight. He did it was an absolutely barn burner, and he got submitted in the 3rd round. Definitely could happen here in this fight.
Yeah, it's funny. Like my initial instinct was like Strickland always promises violence and doesn't do it. And I was looking at his split decision props, but the split decision's like 10-1, which is weird. It's so weird. They're so close to the line, but I'm in a position now where like, if I didn't, I put a little bit on the Strickland sub. If I didn't and it hits, I feel like an idiot because like everybody was on it. So I was like, all right, but let's get to your second play. You want to stick to the FanDuel one?
Yeah, I've read off both of the FanDuel ones. I'll go with the best bet of the day then. Best bet, Dricus Duplessis on the money line. A little bit juiced up now at minus 160, but I think this
is the banner up for that one.
This is definitely I feel like a setup fight for him. I feel like Brad Tavares struggles against the good strikers in the division, and it's put up or shut up time for Dricus du Plessis. Fight not to go to distance is also something that I have my eye on, and a great fight to target in daily fantasy too this week.
Well, while you're saying that, this is a banner I do have. This fight doesn't go to distance. I got at this price earlier in the week. It is a little more now, but I'm just gonna everything you said. I'm 100% with. I mean, and look, 18 fights in du Plessis' career. Never seen the judges. I think Tavares hits harder than people give him credit for. The guys he's facing are pretty tough, but Tavares has been chinned. And Tavares is facing a lot of grapplers. Every time he's faced a striker, he's had some problems. I'm big on the Duplessis side here. I don't know if it's Duplessis. I got to go watch Bert's videos to make sure how to properly say it. That dude's a pro.
You just got to say it really fast, du Plessis.
Tristis Duplessis. You know, like you got to say it correct. But Team Lewin on plus 4,000 Uriah Hall 60 or less. I mean, look, man, I'm a fucking degenerate gambler. You give me plus 4,000, I'm in. I actually got a question for you. We were talking about Billy. Here's a question for you and for the chat. And I'm not talking like Macy Barber versus Ngannou. If you see a line, and I know Bellator does this a lot, if you see a line where one fighter's plus 5,500, is it auto bet or is it like no? Like,
no. It depends on what type of fight it is. So like we're on the live stream last week, and it was the first fight of the night, and round table went around. I said, bro, I'm not betting this fight. And then we got into round 2, and it was like plus 450 Vanessa Depopoulos. And I was like, man, this is kind of like an auto bet spot. But then there's also times where you see something at like the end of the round, you're like, that person almost just got finished there in the third round, and then you try to live bet the juiced odds with something. Don't tell anybody about it, but no, it's not an auto bet for me. Depends on what type of spot we are in the night. I usually try to attack that if it's like the main event. The main event, I would say that's an auto bet. Gamrot money was good.
Nice.
Weeks ago.
There's a situation where I will auto bet, and it doesn't matter what position in the card is for me. But if it's heavyweight MMA, like is Chase Sherman good? I mean, his parents probably think he's a good fighter, but like, is he good? I don't know. Maybe not at this level, but it's heavyweight MMA. Weird shit happens. Tons of variants. Like I didn't bet him. Like I didn't touch the Roman. I think I did the time props the Romanov fight, but like, could Romanov take a step and tear his ACL? Like at that weight, like. I mean, you're not betting Sherman to come out and be the better guy. You're betting against the favorite to do something weird. But like I won't like at flyweight, I won't bet it, but like heavyweight, like I mean, you're a big boxing guy, right?
No, I'm not a big boxing guy.
No? I thought you all right. Like some like boxing's the same way. Like it's weird shit. Like there's just especially when they're out of the US, like these weird fights in like Germany. There's like weird things that happen at heavyweight, but you don't see them happen at like the lower weight classes. But let's move on to another one of the best bets. We both like this du Plessis. I'm just gonna put up your city kickboxing one if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, city kickboxing parlay. I think the more interesting part about this parlay is the Brad Riddell versus Jalen Turner. What are your thoughts on that one for this week? Because I see a lot of the public is on Jalen Turner, and it's pretty. Minus 150 for Jalen Turner. We should have talked about him in the line movement section. I'm shocked that it was that amount of people are kind of on that side. I think it's because of the physical reach advantages and the height advantages, but not everything turns out like it is on paper. I'm on the Brad Riddell side. I think I'm going to wait until the last absolute moment to bet the money line. I'm seeing plus 130 on Bet365. But I do like the city kickboxing parlay. Israel Adesanya, Volkov, Brad Riddell.
Yeah, we talked this before the show. Like I'm on the Turner side, but man, do I feel like it's a trap. And I think you're right. Like Turner's getting a lot of public steam. I wonder, you might get this at plus 150 easy by the time the fight goes off. Like I think Turner's the real deal. I like the improvements I've seen from him, but also I have to take into account that he's facing Brock Weaver. Like the Malarkey win was like, and I got that one way wrong because I love me some Jamie Malarkey fights.
Love me some Jamie Malarkey.
I do. I love him, but like from bell to bell, he just crushed him. So The big reason I'm on Turner, like aside from the narratives, is I feel like on the feet it's so 50-50. If Turner wants to take it to the ground, like if he doesn't like what's going on, he does have that option. I'm not saying he's some world beater on the ground. He's improving. It's certainly a path for him, and that's what I like. I see my guy Richard saying Riddell by decision. I think that's kind of an interesting way to play it because he is not traditionally a finisher. People that are betting in the like the fight doesn't go, you're betting against Turner's durability more than I think you're betting Riddell's. Also, I thought it was Matt Riddle like all goddamn week, so my bet totally fucked up. Then I'm like, oh, he's in WWE now. Oh shit, I fucked that one up. But I see Joe's on Riddell too. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, like, yeah, these are everything you guys are saying in chat is so valid. Look, man, there's just times when a bet comes up and what the head and the heart say, or like just what the head and my fingers on the mouth say are two completely different things. And like, I kind of feel like this is such a trap, but Turner could end up looking minus 800. He could end up looking plus 800 in this fight. Like, I don't think I think we're going to know within like 2-3 minutes this fight's going to be competitive. We'll see what he can do on the, but Riddell definitely trains with the better people. This cannot.
Yeah, but I don't think that really matters too much about that. I think it's just more of man, people sleeping on Brad Riddell. I mean, I get it. He fought Rafael Fiziev his last fight and he lost, and it was kind of like even odds, but I just don't think Jalen Turner should be a minus 155 favorite. It's a little bit juicy, but I think the parlay is good odds. It's a parlay,
In Riddell's defense, no one would have survived that kick.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a matter of toughness. This was a perfect shot. And Fiziev is like, I mean, this is a step down from Fiziev. I will say that. I can say that very easily. Fiziev is just such a good striker. Turner doesn't have his striking, but Turner can incorporate some wrestling. It's a really interesting fight. Like, I think it's a banger. And like, it's one of these where if I lose it, I lose it. But and like everybody's like, well, he's only got 12 pro fights. It's like, bro, he's got like 60 kickboxing fights. Like, dude's got so much experience. Like, and he doesn't have a lot of wear and tear. Like, and he got knocked out 7 months ago. Like, Clint. Like, Clint and I like talk about this a lot. Like, whenever we talk, but this is like a Clint thing that I think is completely true. You want that at least 6 months before you've been knocked out. Like, your body, your head needs to recover. There's a psychological element, but well, I mean, this is the one fight you have to have a bet on. Like, this is like the funniest fight out there. I'm going to put up one of my bets that I got. So fun story with Jim Miller here. I'm taking Jim Miller on DraftKings round 1, round 2 is plus 140. I mean, his in the distance is even money. If this hits the third, I can't say I like Jim Miller's chances anymore. So I'm cutting it down a little bit. I like him by KO. I like him by KO round 1. Look, man, I see some people on this Cerrone decision prop, and like, if it hits, great, but it's 5-1. And if you're telling me that Cerrone decision hits 20% of the time, you're out of your fucking mind. Like, I feel you. I realized that everybody was on the Lozon side last week, and some of it's like the numbers. You see the plus money, and I get it. And his round 1 prop was 10-1, and I get it. And like,
well, low key, everybody would have been fucked because if he would have went out there with a fucked up knee, Cerrone probably would have finished him in round 1.
Well, thank God for like the TikTok doctor that's like, do this, and he's like, oh shit, I'm fine. Like, we live in a fun world, man. Like, look, man, I'm in my 40s, man. We didn't have that shit when I was, 20 years ago. It's like when I was like in my early 20s, YouTube had one video, and it was called "Dude Getting Hit in the Back of the Head with a Shovel." And it was like 5 seconds. It's still out there. It's like the greatest, and it's literally just a dude getting hit in the back of the head with a shovel. It's the greatest video ever. So Richard's saying he's got it at 600 on FanDuel. I think that's pretty good. I mean, is it Miller's prime winning condition? I don't think you see a sub here on the Miller side.
I mean, back in the day, it used to be the narrative on Jim Miller is he was round 1 sub or bust, but more recently, he's been striking better. But honestly, I think if you're betting that fight, I would just take the under 2.5.
I think that's, Now you know me from like this Kelly show. Like I did it the 1 week, and then the fight got canceled the first time, and the second time the fight was going on, I was on vacation. John Kelly just does cool shit. So whatever John Kelly was deciding he wanted to do that Saturday. John Kelly was up saving the world, probably.
Yeah, that's what happens when you win a milli.
Shout out to John doing the show with me Tuesday. Like I played it like the straight man. I didn't do any comedy, only a little bit of comedy. But I appreciate John coming on. But now this week I wanted to do it, and he's like at a fucking wedding or whatever. I'm like, I guess I can't keep moving it back, John. I can't keep moving this fight. You gotta let me bet it one of these days. But I'm on that. I'm on that. I see Richard's on the KO darts. Before we get to the next bet, you got Joe here. I do want to talk about this fight, Lawler Barberena. Do you have any plays on this at all?
I'm kind of torn on this one, but if I had to lean aside, going with the Barberena side. Does it feel warm and fuzzy? No, but I don't think Robbie Lawler is that good anymore. I mean, he definitely looked washed up. He always talks about how he has to like get up for certain spots and fights and stuff like that. And I feel like Barberena's been the more active fighter. He looked really good against Matt. I wouldn't say looked really good against Matt Brown, but he definitely showed me a little bit of durability against Matt Brown. If we get that same Barberena tonight against Robbie Lawler, I think there's going to be a barn burner, and Barberena could definitely win this fight. I think there's multiple ways he can win the fight, and that's where the line is coming in. That's where the money's coming in at -110 now. Not everybody's convinced that Robbie Lawler should be a -125 favorite.
Yeah, I thought the line movement on this is bananas. I don't have a bet on a side. I do feel like if you're going to bet a side, I think you take the plus money no matter who it is in a fight like this. I know Barberena is only 32, which is, I mean, it's like 32 going on 90. I do have a bet on this fight. Like I'm a Lawler fan. I couldn't get there. I can't. But could this fight play out exactly like the Matt Brown fight did? I feel like it could. So what happened in that? Fight went to split decision. So I did fight.
This fight's definitely a fight that you shouldn't be too invested on, but I definitely think there's some value. I'd rather bet this fight than the Cerrone Jim Miller money line.
If you guys have that fight to go to split, I mean, look, I don't think it's hitting the ground. I know Lawler's capable of it, but this fight's probably not hitting the ground. It could be like, it could be so close on the feet, man. Like, I think it goes a distance. I think Barberena probably wins by decision, but that fight goes to a split. I'm channeling my Tim Troiano here, man. Like, I feel like at plus 450, it's kind of a really interesting play. And
yeah, I think that is really high odds.
And hey, Josh, I'm in my 40s too, bro. There ain't nothing wrong with, ain't nothing wrong with taking some shortcuts at this age. Y'all motherfuckers are gonna learn when you get to my age. Just remember, I hope you guys go into YouTube content when you get in your 40s so that you can see these people in the chat and you're gonna be like, that fucking Lou was right. That fucking motherfucker knew. He knew. Free samples, bro. They stopped giving you free samples after months. You eventually got to pay. So let's move on. I think you have one more here, and this is interesting because we were talking about the Strickland sub. So I got to put this up here for you, Billy. Stand by.
Alex Pereira on the money line plus 105. Damn, give me plus money on my boy Alex. It was one earlier in the week where I was kind of like, sometimes the stats don't play out how the fight is supposed to. Because, like, statistically speaking, you feel like Sean Strickland wins this fight pretty much everywhere. But when I feel like this fight's going to play out, I feel like Sean Strickland's really going to underestimate Alex Pereira's power, and he's not going to be able to get these guaranteed takedowns that people are kind of penciling him in for. And plus 105 on my boy Alex, I feel like if this hits the scorecards, you might see a robbery.
Yeah, so there's a bet I gave out last night on the Lambo show. Now, like I said, I have to have the Strickland sub, but like I can throw 2 darts this fight, and I have. So I have the Strickland sub as 1. You want to talk about a robbery? Then you're going to love my fucking bet. I think this goes to decision a lot. I think Strickland's pretty tough. I think Strickland's not an idiot as a fighter. I will not talk about all the other stuff that involves Sean Strickland. I don't care for his mind, if I could be honest, and I won't editorialize. I don't like a lot of the stuff that he stands for, but I don't really care about that for the sake of this bet. But Strickland always promises violence, and then we get not violence.
Yeah.
This is a moment winner versus minute winner fight. I think Strickland wins the minutes. I think Pereira has the flashier moments. I think Strickland can make it ugly against the cage without taking him down. I think when they break, Pereira can crack him, but Strickland's tough. The most important thing here for me is the judges do not like Strickland's style. That Hermanson fight, I thought he won, and I didn't think it was debatable. But, and the state of judging we have, Pereira split decision is plus 1,600.
Yeah, that's a good prop.
And and I don't want to do like this whole weird, like, I don't like getting into like the rig narratives and all this stuff. Like, I try to avoid that. But like you say, if you think we're getting a robbery, if there's the narrative that Pereira Adesanya is the fight to make, could you not see some screwy, weird shit here where Pereira gets his hand raised in a fight maybe he didn't win? At 16-1, I feel like this scenario happens. Like, so I have two darts on this. I have that and I have the Strickland sub. And like, it's certainly like, it's a contrarian way to look at it for sure. I'm not a big contrarian mindset guy, but it's one of those things. It's gamblers in a wisher, man. I saw it and I'm like,
yeah, I feel like Alex Pereira fights always have like weird results. It's either like he gets a knockout or it's just a weird result at the end. So I feel like this is just going to be a product of another one of those fights.
So if you guys have questions in the chat, hit us up, because that's what we're here for. We just want to like talk about your bets. Like, we showed you our best plays, but I did get a DM question before the show started that I'm going to ask to Billy. I'll answer it too, even though I don't know that I have the credibility to answer it, but I will try. So somebody asked me, Billy, if I'm going to start doing content, what's like one or two really good pieces of advice you can give me just getting started? I did not write, by the way, I did not write this question.
I would say number one thing, basic, would be a ring light. Ring lights are always good. You can get that on Amazon, Five Below, but it definitely makes your thing pop. Might give you some headaches in the long run. And then the second thing I would say is try to find a lane that you like. Like, for me, I ended up liking betting content, but I do multiple sports. I didn't really want to pick just one sport. Those would be my two advices.
I think these are good pieces of advices. You do awesome content. Like, so I mean, I've been doing this for 5 months. So like, I don't have, first of all, the ring light, absolutely a must to show, but I have like, you know, like the light hits my head kind of well too. Like, cause don't have a lot of hair. So like, you don't have that problem. Like I have that problem.
The glasses glare problem. I don't want to be the guy on stream with the sunglasses and I actually really can't see what the fuck I'm looking at.
so like, I'm lucky that like when I started doing this, like, you know, look, I'm surrounded by Brady and Wheezy, and I was, you know, fans of all these guys like for the start. So like, but my style is the way my style is. Like as a human being, I'm the way. Like I'm like what you guys see on video. I'm just a fucking weird dude. Like, this is me all the time. I don't apologize for it. Not for everybody, and I understand that. But like the first couple of videos I made, I was like trying to be what people expect content creators to be.
Yeah, like professional.
Well, no, I mean like, well, hey, easy with the professional stuff. I'm a fucking professional over here. No, like, I mean, trying to be like, okay, people like numbers, people like this kind of this kind of analysis. But then it didn't suit me. And I'm like, man, I just got to like kind of open up the playbook and like Monk. And I work with Monk Maddox. I don't know if you guys know Monk Maddox, but Monk and I do a show every Friday on this channel. And like, I just have fun with it, man. Like, I'm crazy. I do weird stuff. Like, and there's people that like it. Like, look, man, you can get gambling, get content in a lot of different places. At least when you come here, like, and I have 20 years of gambling experience. So like, I'm not like some rookie at betting. Like, I think Narco Cop and I are probably like the most gambling combined with like 50 years of gambling experience. We both old. Yeah. Although Narco would whip my ass. I'm just saying, like, Narco and I are like kind of like the elder statesman, kind of like in the gambling experience. I just try to be me and like present you guys the best bets I can. And that's the best advice I could say. If you're gonna start, be you. Like the ring light, like 1,000,000%. First, get the goddamn
Right
toy.
is the number one thing.
Have
I
to
feel
have
like
it.
you
Trust
can
me.
do a lot of things.
And they're not expensive. And they're not expensive. Like, but like, just be you, man. Like, if you're you, people gravitate toward that. Like, don't be like, you know. And here's one thing you shouldn't do. And I'm not naming names because y'all know who these people are. 5-0 this week. VIP, DM for VIP packages. Like, dude, no. Like, don't
Yeah.
be like,
Don't be the cheesy guy.
but also like it's not realistic. Like these guys post fake stats, they poke fake ROI, all the stuff. Like I see my guy Jack Attack in the chat. Like Jack kills it. Look, like and Jack's got proven stats. He's got proven shit to prove that he's like number one, dude. Like you want to pay for his picks? Like leave the stream and go pay for his picks. Dude knows what he's doing. Like, but if you're a guy that's like, I have a Patreon, but then I post picks and it's like you post the opposite. There's people that gamble just to get respect from the community. I gamble to win money. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah. Like, maybe the content stuff is cool and all that. It's fun. But at the end of the day, I really care about.
Like, I love Clint. Winning. I love Wint. I love Wheezy. Like, I love Brady. There's tons more I'm not going to name right now. Like, Locke is like, but you know what everybody has in common? They fucking own it. You lose. Like, Clint wins. He fucking kills me. He's cracking me up. He loses, comes in the show. He's like, hey, man, this is what went wrong. I'm sorry. People love that, dude. Like, own up to your shit. Like, I bet TJ Brown last week. I'm an idiot. Like,
yeah, like,
wow, I'm stupid. I bet Tafan. I am an idiot. You can't always be right, but like, and I tell people fights not to bet. Like this first fight of the night tonight, I ain't betting it. I told people, do not bet this fight.
Yeah, MMA is a weird sport. MMA is definitely one of the only sports I feel like where you could just look like a straight dumbass. Like NBA is like one thing, like basketball is weird shit. Football is weird shit. Like, football games are football games and stuff like that. But when it comes to MMA and you bet somebody and they get knocked out in the first round, you just look like a straight dumbass. I feel like MMA is definitely one of the only sports that can open up exposure. But for the people that really know about MMA betting, it's really about long-term because you could lose a bet and win 3 more. It all depends on what the odds are, the bets are, and, never get behind.
So I got a few questions in the chat that are fun now that I start. So I think this is the quickest one, so I'll just start with this. What are the chances this Cerrone fight gets canceled for the 3rd time?
No way. Jim Miller's going to fight. He's about the paycheck. They're going for a record for this one.
So I have insider info that Cerrone is not drinking the fight milk from It's Always Sunny this week. So there should be no stomach ailments. I'm going to say this fight doesn't get canceled no matter what condition either one of them's in, because I think if this fight gets canceled again, Dana White might just be like, dude, I can't book you again. Like the Cerrone. I honest to God believe it. Like,
yeah, so, no, I think this is Cerrone's last fight, low key. I think he hangs it up after this.
I think Cerrone and Lawler walk off in the sunset together after this week. I really do.
No, I think Lawler still got. I think Lawler still wants to fight.
If he loses, I think it's done. But it's tough. Let's move on to this question, which Jack's question is great, but I just want to keep this on topic. What do you guys think about Duplessis in the distance, Muniz by sub, Gary by KO? Billy, what do you think about this play?
I feel like on paper, all 3 of those would be. I would straight bet all 3 of them. My best advice for you would probably be round robin that bad boy.
Yes, I did not know he was going to say that. I am the round robin guy. I love it. I love the first 2. The Gary KO is interesting to me because I don't feel like if he got, like I said, I have a bet on Gabe Green. I have buyer's remorse. That the thing with the Gary KO here, if it's going to come, it's going to come late. I think Green's a dog. I have this fight script in my head. Brady picked the draw here, by the way, which is like, I love it. I think that Gary can just keep him at distance, can jab. And I think Green has to go for it in the 3rd. I think he's going to be down 2 rounds. Can he get a 10-8 and get that draw? I don't think it's inconceivable. But I also think Green does not move his head well off the center line. And I see Josh saying that Gary is the most overrated fighter on this card. I think there's a time very, very soon to fade him. It's going to happen.
People just haven't seen the best Ian Gary yet because
they haven't.
Some of his Cage Warriors fights are absolutely miraculous performances, like some of those stories and stuff like that. I feel like he just hasn't put it all together in America yet because they're putting him in some pretty big spots. But I mean, how much bigger does it really get than the first couple of fights that he was in the UFC? So I feel like he's a little bit more comfortable inside the octagon. I was watching one of his interviews. Main training partner for this fight was Michael Johnson, and I feel like that's a great trading partner for this type of fight because I feel like they proposed the same type of physical advantages and stuff like that.
I don't know why Dan doesn't make content because literally everything this guy says kills me and I love it. So I got another question that's funny. From
I think
Jack.
Cowboys both retire.
No, that's not the question that I think is funny. I mean, we just addressed that. Don't listen to Tom. I know Tom. I'll be seeing Tom in a few hours to watch these fights. Don't listen to him. Tom, thanks for being in here, though. By the way, we got 50 of you guys live, man. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us, especially on our debut. We really do appreciate it. If you had to fight somebody, what would you pick for a walkout song? Billy, go ahead.
Probably a DMX song, honestly.
Which one? You can't just say like CD shuffle. You got to pick a song.
I would probably say Rough Riders or something like that. Something to get the crowd going.
Nice.
It had to be a big crowd. But if you played the Rough Riders and the Apex, you'd probably just look like a dumbass.
I think that'd be pretty fun. Actually, that'd probably be funnier with 9 Armenians in the crowd. They'd be like, woo! You know why? Because that song's probably just getting there. They're like, awesome. Oh my God, this is on the radio right now.
Yeah, but my favorite all-time walkout though, Darren Till.
Oh yeah, yeah. I kind of like that too.
Sweet Caroline, boom, boom, boom. Big Darren Till fan.
I'm hearing this. There we go. All right. So for me, I don't know, man. I already had a walkout song in college. Now I didn't pro fight. We had a bullshit backyard wrestling league where we literally beat the hell out of each other. And my song back then, again, I'm older, but my song was More Human Than Human by White Zombie. It worked for me then. It got me all fucking pumped up. I see no reason to change it. I'm a metalhead, man. I'll come out to that. Or I could, or I was, oh man, this guy beat me to it by 5 seconds. Or you have to come out to Real American and you gotta work the crowd. I can't rip the shirt off because
I wonder if there will ever be a day where there's a YouTube creator fight league.
Well, we already have it in boxing with KSI was fighting one of the Pauls and
yeah. So I mean, yeah.
Look, man, I would love if we had some kind of content creator battle royal because I would just be the fucking dude that stays on the outside of the ring and out of trouble, and I'm there's 2 dudes left. I throw them both over the top rope. I steal it. Look, it's vet savvy, man. Got the vet savvy. This is there's a lot to break down with this comment. I'm just gonna leave it up here, and I don't think I don't think I need another beer to handle this one. But MMA prediction fight league would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, man, I ain't the biggest dude, but I know I'm like the Ric Flair of this bitch, man. I know every goddamn dirty trick there is, and I mean, I literally give away bets every week about ball shots. So you don't think I'm fuck, man? I'll fucking.
That should be mad funny though.
I'll fucking just throw one.
I don't think it would ever happen. I don't think we'd get enough people on the band.
So I don't see any more questions in chat at the moment. I'll give you guys a few minutes if anybody's got anything else, but while we're waiting for some questions, Billy, tell everybody where you are, what you're doing, where you're at, why they should follow you, fashion advice. I don't fucking know. I'm running out of things to say with that.
Tonight, NFT stream for Pub Sports Radio. We're opening up some NFT packs. We got a new partnership. So make sure you check out pubsportsradio.com or go over to the Twitter side of things because we got whatever the promo code is, gets you some nice little discounts. And we're going to cash some tickets tonight, baby. Make sure you tune in tonight. And make sure you follow me over on Instagram at Billy Briz DFS, Twitter at Getting Bills. Lou, nice opening up first stream with us. And you already know it's the Sugar Show tonight, baby.
Yeah, I'm man, I don't want him to lose, dude. Like, and it's not even just that I love him as much as you. It's that I'm looking at like his next 4 or 5 fights that are potentially there. Like, I think he gets a big contract. I think he does get a big contract with a win here. He's never going to be off a main card again. Like, I mean, this is what he wants, allegedly. Like, he does. He's like, pay me and I'll do these fights. He's so much smarter than people realize, man. He really is like, and you want to talk about dudes that are just like people criticize Gary's so cringy, and he is. I think O'Malley is just as real. He's a real dude, man. Like,
it was bad funny at the weigh-ins when he did the.
Yeah, I think he's like. I think O'Malley is just like he's a real ass dude. He knows what he's worth, and he's like, and he's gonna have a career doing all sorts of weird, funny shit after this, and I think that's awesome. So, guys, thank you for hanging out. We still got 52 people here live. Like, I know Monk's like probably thinking I'm cheating on him right now, like Couch Warrior. And last thing I'm gonna say is I'm really upset. So I'm sure you didn't watch my show on Thursday, but I challenged this dude to a hair versus hair bet over the Cerrone Miller fight. And he's like, Lou, I got way more hair than you. I'm like, bro, this might be the last hair I ever fucking had. Like, I think it's a fair bet. Like, take my scalp, man. That's it. Yeah. But thank you guys so much. If you guys have questions next week, like we're gonna be doing this every week. I'd like to say we're gonna be doing this every week at 2 p.m., but it's gonna be we're not gonna do it for the Long Island card because the main card starts at 2 p.m. Why is that card starting at 11 a.m.? Why?
I didn't even know that. I did not.
Well, that's what Tapology says. Like, and I'm gonna be there, dude. And like honestly, I'm probably gonna be fucking hungover because I grew up in Long Island. I grew up 10 minutes from where that thing is, and I'm going back for the first time in 30 years. So I'm gonna go up a couple days early. I'll do my content from there.
That's still Ortega Rodriguez card.
Yeah, like maybe I find Gombis. We get like all fucking drunk. We wrestle like idiots. He kicks my ass in 10 seconds. I don't know. But there's tons like Liam. Liam will kick my ass in 10 seconds too. I don't like my odds against either of those guys. They have wrestling bases, but like if we're all gonna like hang out, like I'd love to meet some of these dudes. Like my Couch Warrior, like my partner from Thursday. Go follow Couch Warrior, guys. Awesome dude. Like I want to hang out. Like I'm gonna be fucked up. So, like, what am I going to do? I got to get up at like 9 in the morning, check out of a hotel, and be like, God damn it. Like, why are these? And I'm not like, dude, I don't understand these people. If you're going to pay for a ticket, I want to see the first fight, man. Fuck, you walk in at like the main event. Like,
I agree. Why would you want to pay for a ticket to not watch the first? I don't know. I would say that, but I wouldn't mind missing the first fight on this card.
Let's handle this last question before we get out of here. We did talk about this earlier, Zach. Chances that Brad beats Jalen. I mean, Billy and I are on different sides of this, although I have made it very clear. I think it's a trap to bet Jalen Turner here, but I'm on it. Billy is very much on the Brad side. If you want to give him 30 seconds as to why, again,
I would say 50-50. I would say it's a 50-50 fight, and that's not what the line indicates.
If you're getting 50. Oh, Jack, thank you so much, man. Like, debut smash. You know who's going to be smashed in a few hours? This fucking guy right here. Gonna be smashed. Got the punishment liquor ready to go.
Card starts at 6, right?
Yeah. Do you know what oh shit, what the hell is it called? It's like this Italian liquor. It's like looks like neon. It's hold on. I'm gonna leave you guys on this one to give you a little insight to my dementia. Hello, liquor.
No, I have no idea any Italian liquors. I'm not that diverse yet.
It's gross. It's Galliano. So Galliano looks like it's lemon. It's not. It's awful. It's so bad, and that's what I drink when I lose a bet. And like, I don't know how many of you guys drink and chat or whatever. Like, typically liquors like this, they start tasting like, I don't want to say better, but like they get less offensive as they go on. This one is not the case. This just gets, it is just so bad. It is so bad. So like, if you want to learn if you want to not lose bets, yeah, like use this because you will not want to lose ever again. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be doing this every week. Like and subscribe. Go like Billy's stuff like immediately. Like my stuff is useless. Like go like his stuff. I'm doing this. I forgot I got to go the other way on these cameras. Guys, good luck today on your bets. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.